Hello and welcome to Your Thoughts Podcast. Today we've got Kash Filburn. I've got my co-host Jesse Martinez.
Hi, I'm Jesse.
How you doing, Kash?
Hi, dude. I am doing really good. Just another beautiful day at the office today.
Definitely.
Yeah.
What are we?
The unair conditioned office.
What are we working with for the office?
For the office?
Yeah, man.
Like what am I doing?
Oh, yeah. What's your office? What do you do?
Oh, well, I'm a professional music instructor,
Hell yeah.
session musician, live musician on the drums. And that's pretty much all I do.
That's very cool.
That's all I do. I never sleep. That's all I
Who
do.
needs it? That's what we do podcasts and cut ourselves.
Who
at
needs
work.
it? Yep, exactly.
So you
Work and then die.
work and die.
That's
That's
work
the
and
whole
die.
thing. No retirement.
agenda.
No W. Wait, what is it? No retirement fund at all. You used to you played bass before drums, didn't you?
No, I've always played drums pretty much. Well, I started on guitar when I was like 5 or 6. I started really young actually, and then I kind of just got bored with that. Actually, what happened was my best friend got better than me, and so I quit. Don't quit if your best friend gets better than you. Just realize that people progress at different rates.
Or just play drums?
And then I did, and then I did sports for a little bit, and then I started playing drums.
Oh, very cool.
Right when I entered high school.
Do you still play guitar?
A little bit. I've been actually like practicing guitar and stuff. Actually like learning new things on it. But what Jesse's referring to is there was like a 3-month stint where I got super into playing bass and I like joined a band and then quit 3 months later.
What was that band's name? I don't remember.
It's called the Semester Review. It was like
Semester Review, and you had
they were
Alex
like
was your
they were
guitarist.
like a pop punk band, and then right when I joined, they decided to be like not that, and I don't even know what to
They
call.
turned into a lo-fi band.
I guess, yeah, I don't know. It sucked.
That's what they
and
called it.
I don't feel bad saying that. It was stupid. So
We played with them at the Underground once.
Yeah,
Jesse
I
fell
think that might have been
over-
when I was.
Were we playing with
Oh
them?
yeah.
Jesse fell over his amp into their.
Somebody called me
orange
Gigi
amp.
Allen for that. I was very upset.
Oh man, let's talk about Gigi Allen, dude.
I was fully clothed and there was no poop at all.
Oh my god. My roommate Blake was seeing this lovely woman named Gigi for a
Oh
while.
jeez.
Middle name Allen.
Yeah, he messed up on that one because.
Never trusted
Gigi's
Gigi,
amazing.
son.
But
ever.
I always called her Gigi Allen,
Yeah.
and she never got the joke.
That sucks with a name like that, and you don't understand the reference. It's upsetting.
Yeah. Well, it's not Gigi.
Pretty
It's like
shitty.
Gigi.
Oh, Gigi. Okay, that makes sense.
But still, yeah, I would just fuck with her and say that.
That's what you do. No
So,
doubt.
also, speaking of people getting naked and doing stuff, my girlfriend
We're going here
recently-
already.
Yeah, my girlfriend recently had to deal with a crazy situation where she moved out of this apartment because her roommate had a terrible habit of getting naked and screaming
Oh my
really loud at like
God.
2 a.m. Yeah.
Like intoxicated or completely sober?
Yeah. I won't release any names, but we're talking like restraining order level shit.
Dang, man. You have to fuck up to get a restraining order, dude.
Yeah, and I witnessed all of it. It's not just
You saw this man naked?
no, it's a girl.
Oh shit.
Yeah, it was a girl. Yeah, I didn't see her naked, but I heard everything,
sub-
and I knew she was naked. I knew she was naked.
That's subjectively different for sure.
Yeah, it was. That's a story, man.
People get crazy.
But-
I
That's
hear
pretty
about
wild.
A lot of that.
Yep.
So you've
Yeah,
been
so,
you've been putting out a lot of videos of you doing drum stuff lately.
Yeah. I've been this year has really been me making sure that. Check my recording real quick. All good. Yeah, so this year has been me really focusing on making sure that I have an established like social media presence. So I've been really working on my workflow in regards to that, and making sure that it's streamlined and productive and doesn't take away. Because that's kind of the thing I always hated about making videos is I always feel like I spent more time working on the video than I did actually playing and stuff.
It's so aggravating. That's what's taken so long about the podcast. It takes months to get the episodes out.
We just possibly got an editor so that we could just focus on doing this because he was having.
Yeah, all of the podcasts that put out stuff weekly that I know have like a in-house editor and stuff. Just because, especially when you do long form stuff like hour plus, 3 hours, like the podcast that I listen to, it's just good to have someone else because these
3
people are all,
hours. Oh, I can't even
yeah,
imagine.
these people on the podcast that I listen to they're all content creators. So they have to be doing their work, and they can't spend their time editing a podcast that's going to make them no money.
Definitely, that makes sense.
You know, so but yeah, that's just the kind of what I've been really has been probably one of the bigger struggles about 2020, other than going through a really nasty breakup, the coronavirus, all of the turmoil, the civil turmoil within the country.
This is not a good year for pretty much anybody doing anything.
No.
Yeah, and I think we can all agree on that.
doubt.
But so along with that, me forcing myself to become tech savvy, as tech savvy as Kash can possibly be, has been a huge challenge of the year. So yeah, that's what you were mentioning. The drum videos that's me, not only making sure that I can quickly pump stuff out, quickly mix things and quickly put together content. But also just making sure that I have an established online presence, which going through something like the coronavirus pandemic, I thanked myself for.
Yeah,
Because in January, when I decided to, what I call it, go for the throat in 2020, face all my fears and do all the things that I have been putting off, I'm really glad I did that in January.
We're glad you did that too, man, because your content is amazing. It's quality
bro.
stuff,
Appreciate
dude.
it.
It's really entertaining to watch, and it's very professionally done, I think.
Thank you, man. I'm about to put out some more long-form stuff, kind of vlog style.
Oh, that'll be cool.
Yeah, I've kind of been bouncing around the long-form content. There's a couple options, right? There's like covers, there's vlog style videos, there's educational. And I'm definitely leaning more towards the educational vlog style stuff. I'm not a huge fan of covers. I like writing original music,
that's how we
and
are
covers
too.
kind of
Yeah.
suck the life out of me.
Oh, yeah.
And so I kind of realized that maybe I just should not do covers, because I kept being like, oh, I need to do one. But then it's like, well, should you do it if you really don't want to? And
Yeah, it feels like doing work trying to do covers.
when I realized people don't watch the whole video.
Oh, really?
Like, they just look
That's
for the
not
one part in
surprising.
the song that they're like, oh my God, can he play that? Like, or, I for me personally, that's the way I look at covers.
Covers are kind of like a one-off thing. Like, this might get a bunch
Yeah.
of people to look at my other stuff.
It's clickbait.
Yeah. Like maybe every once in a while I'll do like a high quality one. But at that point, I'd rather just do a playthrough from one of my projects.
Yeah, why not? That is,
I don't care about views. I care about it being good.
that's how you should look at
Make
it.
the
I think.
content you want to make or want to
Yeah.
watch.
So you're going to be seeing a kind of a move into the long form content domain for me. Like I said, I've been focusing on short form, which is 60 seconds or less, the Instagram stuff. And then now I'm moving into longer stuff. And then after that, once feel like I've gotten good there, I'm going to move into things like Patreon and that sort of thing.
But we just actually moved into Patreon, and it's worked out for us so far.
Yeah, we launched a
pretty solid.
Patreon, I think, last
Good
month.
for you guys. Good for you guys. Yeah, stuff like Patreon is the future of employment for
So
a lot of us.
I have a question for your face.
My
Yeah,
face.
so I see you're growing a pretty sick mustache there.
Dude, thank
you
you.
put
That's
any-
actually it was better. I recently kind of cut it down a little bit because it was a little,
Sure,
little
getting
long.
wily.
But
Have you put any thought into it, or
yeah.
are you just like...
it just happens to grow nicely. I guess I got lucky. I would like to. I mean, I want to attain a Ron Swanson level mustache one
It's
day.
so hard, dude.
Yeah, I want that. That's what I want. That's my goal, but it's kind of on the back burner right now.
Definitely, that makes sense.
But thank you.
Yeah, I just wanted to
Yeah.
throw that compliment out your way, because
Thank you,
last time
bro.
I saw you
Yeah.
in person, you didn't have any facial hair. Now
Oh yeah, that
I
was a
did.
long time ago.
I
at this
had
point.
shorter hair all around. I think my hair was. I was rocking like the Bieber
you were
haircut at that
beebsing
point.
it out pretty hard.
That was
Yeah.
5 years ago. That was that long ago.
Ridiculous.
Ridiculous.
That's insane.
Yeah.
That was a year after I graduated high school. I just
Old.
realized in May I've been out of high school for 6 years, and I instantly felt old.
How old are you, Cash?
So, I'm 23. I'm about to turn 24. I turned 24 in December.
Right on. It's an okay number.
So
Whatever.
you're a year older than him?
I'm a year older than Cash, but he looks...
I feel good.
Yeah.
I know that I'm not worried about 20s. I'm worried about when I hit 30, and if I'm not where I want to be, that's going to be a crisis like any unseen before.
Well,
for
you
me.
work hard. I can't imagine that's not going to be the case. You have a great following on social media, and I think you're working towards what you want.
Thank
and
you, bro.
you can see
It's very
that
kind of you to say.
without even talking to you. You can see that for sure.
Thank you, man. Thank you. Appreciate that. So what have you guys been up to? enough about me.
God.
What's new for you guys? It's been like 4 years since I've even like really talked to you.
I saw you at my work a few months ago.
Really?
You don't remember that?
I don't remember that. I have a horrible memory,
It's
bro.
okay. You were
I'm sorry.
eating on our patio.
Don't
and
take
I was
it
like, oh my God,
personally.
it's
Really?
Kash Filburn. I haven't seen you in a long time.
Oh, mellow
Yeah,
mushroom.
mellow mushroom. Yeah,
I remember
that
now.
was cool. I hadn't seen you in a long
Yeah.
time, and then days after I saw you, my ex-girlfriend told me that your roommate worked with her, and I was like, "Holy
No
shit, no way!"
way.
I just
At
saw
Cheesecake?
Cash Filburn a few days. Yeah, at Cheesecake.
Oh
Yeah.
man, maybe she's the crazy girl that Blake's been talking
I
about.
fucking hope not. She's enough about
Yeah,
that.
Blake is a very attractive young man, and he has a tendency to attract
Psychos.
girls that become very obsessed with him. Yeah, he had this girl, the girl he just went on a date with. The first thing she said to him was, "Hello, dear. Would you like to fall in love with me?" And it's like
That's an
like the
interesting
first thing
pickup
in
line.
the Tinder chat was that. So
Dude, that's
and he
that's
showed me.
red flags all over the place, dude.
Yeah, well, he said, "Hey, yeah, let's go out to sushi."
Let's do
Yeah,
it.
I think he's equally as crazy.
I can't
think that's the
imagine I
problem.
wouldn't say yes to that either, though.
Yeah,
I mean,
we talk a lot of shit about each other.
if you get that kind of response, like, why not?
We have
Oh,
been
amazing.
doing this. We just kicked it back off again for season 3, technically.
Right. So
Stumpy-
Oh, you guys do seasons. I like that.
Yeah, I think
Kinda. That's
roughly about 10 to 12 episodes per season, I think is what we've decided.
except for last season, I moved to Idaho for about a year, so I did 3 episodes there, and I'm considering that as one season.
Okay. What part of Idaho do you live in?
Nampa.
Nampa. I don't know where that is. I've been to Rupert, Idaho, wherever that is.
I
Did you
have
like
no
it?
idea where that is.
It was cool. I played a show there and
sick.
at a youth center, and it was amazing.
Oh, that's amazing. That's really
I could
cool.
tell that those kids don't have many shows come through their town.
Yeah, that would make sense. It's a youth show.
Yeah.
Nampa was about 30 minutes out of Boise.
Okay.
Boise,
nice.
Idaho.
Yeah.
Boise State.
Oh.
Boise is kind of like Mill Ave, but as a city.
Ew, oh my God.
It's not bad.
Oh,
It's not bad.
that
It's
sounds cool.
it's pretty chill,
I spent 4 years of my
and the weather
career
is a lot nicer.
awful.
Nice.
Other than that, so Elena Avenue is no more. We don't do Elena Avenue anymore because he moved.
I was gonna ask about
and our
that.
drummer.
We ended in 2019. Lester quit, and we found a new drummer. And then after that, we're kind of just like, what do we do? Because our new drummer.
That's
also quit.
interesting. That whole thing.
Yeah.
Because
I remember you guys hitting me up.
Yeah, he came, and he was really good. And we were in the middle of recording our first album, as Elena Avenue. Lester taught him all of his riffs, basically his parts,
Mm-hmm.
and then he came. We were doing a band practice on Saturday. He said, "Hey, can we do one on Sunday instead? I'm kind of busy today." For 2 years, we
Yeah.
didn't hear from him after that day.
Really?
He left all of his equipment with us.
We thought he died. Like we really
were
thought
looking
he
up
died.
obituaries. Like he had some stuff going on at home. We thought maybe they're the worst. And then like a month ago, he got back to us and was like, "Hey, I need my cymbals back." Are you fucking serious?
We're like, you're alive?
Oh my
Oh,
god.
you can have
dude.
your stuff, but what the fuck happened,
That's
man?
crazy. That's crazy when people do that, man. When they just go off the
Yeah,
when they
they
just
just
go completely
disappear.
off the radar.
Yeah.
It was scary. We didn't know what to do. We just had like
That
thousands
sucks, man.
of
I
dollars.
hope he's
worth of
okay.
cymbal equipment.
He must have been going through something really terrible. That sucks.
He was, and I think he's
Yeah.
okay now though. So that's pretty solid.
Good.
I'm not even sure.
Good
what
for
it is.
him.
But then after that,
He should have told you guys.
He should have, but
I
he's
get it.
okay. Everything's
I get
fine.
it.
After that, he went to Idaho, and me and Nick started a band called Louis on Tour. Louis is the name of my son, and
That's a good band name.
Yeah.
You have a kid?
I do have a 2-year-old. Oh my god, we haven't seen each other in a long time. I have a
Nice,
2-year-old son
dude.
with my
That's
ex-girlfriend.
sick. Well, 2 years late. Congratulations.
Definitely, dude. Thanks. He's a little shit.
Yeah,
but I love
dude.
him to death.
Oh yeah. Well, that's the worst age. So
That's true.
2 years old.
He's so fun. He plays like superhero stuff, and he is in love with music.
Yeah, dude. He's
Amazing,
already
that's
picking up
good.
guitars and stuff. He's 2. He's got a little drum set
Oh,
at
that's
home.
good. Yeah, get him
Plays
started
drums
young,
all the
man.
time.
I want to take him to the studio, but he's still too young for that. I think would blow his face off. So.
Oh, okay.
Um,
Yeah, I usually recommend about 7 at the earliest for drums.
then after
Nice.
that,
What if they were like over the ear, like?
well, the sound isn't
earbuds
usually what
kind
I'm
of-
worried about. He's just really curious right now. So him like messing with,
Yeah.
with chords and.
I'd be most
amplifiers
concerned
and stuff.
about his hearing growing up.
I teach a 5-year-old, and or it's a 4 actually. He's turning 5 in about 2 weeks, and he's picking up stuff nicely, and he's like reading music and,
that's
and that sort of
amazing,
thing. It's just the development is a little bit slower
For sure.
because they're so young.
yeah,
And
attention
so,
span.
yeah, and the thing I tell parents a lot of the time is if you want to see, development with your child on an instrument, if you want to see more progress, then start them later. But if you're okay with them just being in it right away, then that's cool too. It just depends on the kid, honestly, too. Everybody's different, so.
Tyler started his own thing up in Idaho for a little bit.
Yeah, I had a band called Chernobyl Homes.
Chernobyl Homes.
Chernobyl
Amazing.
Homes. Yeah, we only played like 1 or 2 gigs. We wrote like 5 songs, and then I came back here.
And then we started Louis on tour. Well, it was already started. Tyler's actually the bassist for this band. We're currently transitioning vocalists, which is a good time to do it because of the whole COVID thing. So we're not doing any shows right now. But we are in the process of recording demos.
We've been looking for a female vocalist.
Oh,
and then on the side of that, during Louis on tour, me and Nick joined another band called Dylan Wade and the Media. Recorded an album with them, and then we still have their drummer as our drummer. He transitioned over to us, and the lead singer moved.
Drummers are incremers incestuous.
Oh my god, dude, we had the worst for like 3 months of starting this band.
Polyamorous drummers.
It was a revolving door of trying to find. We could find singers, bassists, guitarists all day long. Drummers are scarce.
We've actually been having a hard time trying to find a vocalist.
Yeah, drummers and good singers are, in my opinion, the hardest to find.
Yeah, that's all we need.
I can only speak to really mostly the drummer thing because I am one.
Yeah.
But I think the thing with drummers is there's just and I see this at the lesson studio too, is that there's just less interest in that instrument. But when people are interested in it, they are very interested in it. So you get a lot of very, very focused, good drummer. You get a small amount of very good, focused drummers, and you've got a lot of guitar players.
Yeah.
Guitar is definitely the most popular instrument.
It's so easy, but we already filled those spots,
In Idaho, I had gone through 2 drummers alone in the 9 months that I was there.
Well, we had this problem where we'd find really good drummers. They were killer. And then we go, okay, cool, so... They would just go, yeah, that was really cool. I'm not looking for anything serious right now. I'm actually in like 9 things. But this was a cool jam session. We're like, dude, that's not what you came here for. Like, you know that. Like, what the hell, man? That was the big issue.
Yup.
But now we're doing that.
Yeah.
The demo's coming out okay. We're self-recording right now.
Good.
They were going shopping.
That's the way to do. That's the way to do demos. Just do it all yourself.
Never be too serious about it. What kit are you rocking right now? Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Oh, my drum kit?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I recently, let's see. I think in, December of last year, I began a quest, hunting for a dragon. The Gresh New Classic drum set.
Kash started doing heroin.
I didn't know that was a.
Chasing the dragon is a heroin term.
Okay, yeah. So my chasing the dragon is chasing a mythical creature, which is these Gresh New Classic kits that got discontinued because they didn't sell very well, which is really peculiar because they're like the best sounding drums I've ever played.
Crazy.
But they were released by Gresh in 2010. And I kind of got interested in them because my teacher and favorite drummer, Joseph Arrington, plays the Gresh New Classic series. And so I went on a kind of a witch hunt for these things. And not a witch hunt, but, missing persons hunt. I found about 4 total on the internet.
Oh, wow.
That were used.
And you bought them all?
Yeah, and the one I ended up settling on was one that was in L.A., and instead of paying the shipping, I went ahead and drove there. And I took a whole day, and I drove 6 hours to L.A., picked up the drum set from a church, which was really nice knowing that it was at a church because I know it just sat there for 10 years. It did not get toured at all. It had 1 nick on it, and that was it. So basically perfect condition. I got a really good deal on it, and it's 6 pieces, 4 toms, snare, and kick, and they all sound incredible and really well built. And it's beautiful, and you can see it in all the videos I've released recently. It sounds incredible and looks incredible. It's like this gold sparkle. It's beautiful.
That's amazing. Do you play? You play a 4-piece, right?
Currently, I'm playing a 4-piece. Yeah, I can take this one all the way up to 6-piece if I really wanted to, but I don't have enough room or microphones for that.
No doubt. How big is that room?
So I kind of just. What's that?
How big is that room that you're in right now?
Ooh, I honestly have no idea. It's about the size of like a. I'd call it about the size of like a small bedroom in a house, like not the master, like a side bedroom.
That makes sense.
It's about that
like
big.
6 by 6, 10 by 10, something like that.
Oh, yeah, I think maybe 10 by 10 would be a good.
All right, so we're gonna need you to take a tape measure and just.
I have a tape measure with me. I could figure it out.
So I see that you're wearing a lot like Birds shirt. Don't you have a cool story about the drummer of that band?
I do. He's my drummer. He's actually my teacher.
Oh, really?
So yeah. So this is actually a really cool story because I would say go back to, I want to call it 2016. I'd say. Yeah, 2016, I was in a band called Gold Season.
Ah, that was such a good band, dude. Oh, my God.
Thank you, man. This is kind of when the whole math rock swancore thing was kind of at its peak.
Right.
With the bands like Dance Gavin Dance, Hail the Sun, A Lot Like Birds. Trying to think who else. Still Us. That's all I can think of. There's a few more. Wolf and Bear. So Gold Season, we would frequent playing in Flagstaff. Every once in a blue moon, and we got offered a show.
Was that up at the Hive?
Mm-hmm, up at the Hive in Flagstaff, right, and we got offered a show with one of my favorite bands, still to this day, A Lot Like Birds. And at this time, I did not know their drummer, Joseph Arrington, and he was just kind of a mythical figure on the internet. Didn't have a huge presence, and I just had seen a few videos of him. And when I saw him live, it was the greatest thing I'd ever seen. The first time I saw A Lot Like Birds, and so the idea of being able to play with them. Was obviously I shit my pants and got really excited.
Obviously.
And then I saw it was actually the girl I was dating at the time. I actually saw a post that the band put out where they said that Joe was offering private lessons on the tour. He was offering group lessons though, which I was like, oh, that's kind of lame. I think group lessons are stupid on drums, and I still think that to this day. But I was the only one that had signed up for the Arizona date of the tour. So I just got to do a one-on-one lesson with my favorite drummer.
So good.
Yeah, it was like out back of the Hive by those railroad tracks. I have a video of it somewhere.
Nice.
But obviously a life-changing moment for me. And the thing that was so cool about this is that, oftentimes musicians, even at that level, they kind of start getting an ego. Once labels and booking agents get involved, they think they're hot shit. Mm-hmm. And I'm guilty of that too. I've been there. But Joe is anything but thinking he's hot shit. Joe is one of the most humble, down-to-earth people I've ever met. And he actually asked me for my number.
Oh, shit.
And he was actually the one that not only instigated but perpetuated the connection between us. He would be texting me, once a week, asking me how I was doing, asking me how I was going on my musical journey.
I wish Les Claypool would do
really
that
cool.
to me. That'd be so sick.
Yeah, I would just call it an incredible, weird turn of luck. And we're really good friends to this day. And I haven't been taking lessons recently, but I was studying with him weekly for a few months until the pandemic hit. But yeah, so
you definitely still got a style that meshes well with the like progressive metal kind of.
Are you saying he does or I do?
You do.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I definitely heavily influenced by him. So
yeah, you can definitely tell.
Thank you, man. Thank you. Yeah, it's a lot of the, as far as my actual style goes, it's not too many tricks, just a lot of linear stuff, a lot of putting the kick where I'd usually put a tom, and that's kind of how I think about stuff. That's kind of my go-to formula.
So
yeah,
if you want to, you can send us a video of you doing some drum stuff. We'll feature it in the podcast.
If you want
to.
Sure,
yeah.
No pressure.
Yeah, I'll send you guys a few of the videos I've done recently in the studio.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Also, if you want to shout anything out, or we do have an okay following, so if you want.
Oh, cool. Yeah, so if you want to follow me on my socials, any social media platform, Instagram, TikTok, Reddit, I'm forgetting one, Twitter, there we go. All of those are at Kash Plays Drums, all one word. Kash with a K.
You got all of those at Kash Plays Drums? Are you serious?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's Kash Plays Drums on all of them. Start with a K, so Kash Plays Drums, all one word. I do have a project that I'm going to be releasing before the end of the year that I've been working on for 3 years. It's a progressive instrumental project that is the greatest thing I've ever done. Yeah. And I'm going to release the name of it. It's called Hakol Havel, and that's spelled Hakol Havol, Hakol Havel. And this is Hebrew for everything is vapor.
Everything is
vapor?
Where
everything is vapor. And that's kind of where I'll leave it. maybe we'll sneak the album art in here or something.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
I'll send it to you guys. But yeah, I'm really excited to debut that project. It's my favorite thing I've ever done. It's got engineered by Corey Spots.
I've heard
engineer out of North Phoenix. Yeah, he's fucking amazing.
Local engineer.
Yeah, he's done all of the he's done the newer Not Nearly material. He did all the Gold Season stuff.
Oh, cool.
He does all the work for a band called Still Motion.
Is Not Nearly a project that you're involved in?
No. It's just I play in for Rio Wiley. So Rio's band is me.
Right, former vocalist of I Remember Burning, right?
Oh.
Yeah. Rio does like his solo pop R&B thing,
long.
and I'm in his band with two of the members from Not Nearly, Johnny and Koba. So yeah, we play in that band together, but I'm not in Not Nearly. They have a different line of guys.
Hey Cash, have you ever been on a podcast before?
I have.
Really?
Yeah. Why am I doing a bad job?
No. I don't know. See, so we're so new to the podcast game, and they're so saturated. You never really know who's done one of these before. You know what I mean?
It's incredibly saturated. Yeah, I've done and this would be the third one I've done. I did the Getting Stoked podcast with Matthew and Sam, good friends of mine. I've done the Breaking Even podcast with the band Breaking Even from New York. That was really fun. And then this one. Haven't done a whole lot.
Hey,
actually, I haven't heard of either of those.
Yeah, those are. I personally can speak to them both being amazing.
Nice.
Go check them out. Don't definitely.
Yeah, check them out. I don't really listen to them. I'm pretty. I guess I haven't really ventured out too much with the podcasts because it's so saturated. And the podcast that I listen to is it releases weekly, so it's kind of hard for me to keep up with just that one.
Right.
And the episodes are like 3 hours long,
so
you gotta like schedule time
imagine,
to do it,
dude.
or be doing something.
Yeah, but it's just so damn inspiring. This podcast that I listen to, and I encourage everyone to check it out. It's the Procrastinators podcast. It's been around for
I've heard
4
of
or 5 years. Yeah, they it's a collection of anime YouTubers, comic creators, so like people that draw, people that are like super analytical about media. So none of them are musicians, or one of them is, but his main thing is drawing. But despite that, hearing them talk about, they have a lot of conversations about art, and so what it means to be a creator, and how they choose to conduct themselves, and kind of their outlook on being creators for a living is something that I find particularly inspiring and motivating. Recently, and this might be interesting for you guys, I wanted to bring this up, is the idea of being prolific. So how quickly should you release content? Kind of when do you say, is this good enough? Okay, put it out. That's kind of the goal, right? And then there's releasing it too soon, so not putting enough attention to detail. And then there's working on it for too long and wearing yourself out on it. And by the time you release it, you're not even excited about it.
Right.
So there's a good balance to strike between consistently releasing content and making sure there's enough quality. And that's something that's kind of really been helpful for me. Is I used to release an Instagram video every day, and I found this to be particularly exhausting. Not because necessarily the quality would suffer, but because I'd find myself either running out of ideas for content, or I would feel that some of the content was particularly uninspired and forced. And so I've kind of moved into a 3-day cycle of
that's solid. That gives you enough
releasing
time to
content.
Sort of think about everything. We decided that each episode is coming out every 2 years or so. So
amazing.
There's no way we're gonna get burnt out.
That might be a
it.
little too much attention to detail.
There's also enough time to edit.
I can see their pores, man. What the hell is going on? That's funny.
Yeah, we moved into for a while. It was really hard to get content out on a consistent basis. It'd be like 3 months, 6 months, whenever I got time to edit the video.
If you're new to it, it's hard.
Yeah. Just with
because you overthink everything.
Well, it's not even that. Just juggling regular work with also doing content, and then like this isn't the only thing we do. I also have 2 other music projects. So,
oh yeah, talk about Nebs.
I'm in a project with our camera operator. It's called Mars and Nebula.
That's a good band name.
We're doing.
Nice.
It's kind of like a mix of pop punk and R&B.
Oh, sick.
Pop R&B.
Pop R&B.
Amazing. Sounds lit, dude. Gotta check that out. Send me links.
For sure. I can send you some of the demos that we're working on.
Please do.
But the content schedule that we're trying to go for is trying to get a video out a month. We hired an editor to try to help with that process.
Oh, you're talking about like music videos?
No, with that podcast.
Oh God, we're not even there yet.
Oh, okay, I see. Oh, you're talking about the podcast. Okay, nice. That's sick.
Yeah, I think that's plenty of time, no doubt.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that allows you time to, be picky with your guests and make sure that you're.
Yeah, it also gives us time to stock up on some of the episodes so we can have them on backload and then just start putting them out.
Not to mention we have a waiting list for people who want to do this. If you're new to this podcast, this show, or whatever you want to call it, this is Your Thoughts Podcast. The idea is that whatever you want to talk about as just a regular person, you come to us and get your ideas out there on some sort of platform. We feel like not a lot of people get that opportunity, so we are that opportunity. So if you ever want to be on Your Thoughts Podcast, come on down.
I think you guys mentioned that. I in particular, I mentioned earlier, I'm a forgetful person. I actually forgot that was kind of the thing, and I remembered you asked me to come up with some topics,
right.
And the only one I could really think of was music, and then the other one was that being prolific thing, finding the balance between that.
That's a really cool conversation topic too. I think that really brought some spice to the episode, so that was pretty solid.
Yeah, and if you want to talk more about it, I particularly find it interesting because on that podcast in particular, this is what's so interesting about it is there are people that suffer from both of the extremes of that in the podcast. So that's why they were having the discussion. Is there's a member that they would describe as perfectly prolific, right in the middle, and then there's ones that release content a little too quickly, maybe sacrificing quality, and then ones that just take forever to release content. So one of the guys on the podcast, his YouTube name is Best Guy Ever. He's famous for putting out a video called, he has a series called Best Anime Ever. He did Gurren Lagann and Ghost in the Shell, Standalone Complex, I believe, a couple more. But he takes forever to put stuff out because he has a day job. And so that's kind of, the not being prolific enough, not putting out enough content. And so he eventually, because of getting so much shit from everybody on the podcast for taking forever, he put out a series called Mia Maffa Move. And it's an acronym for Maybe I'll Actually Make a Fucking Video. And he put out a video every day for a whole month called... the series was called Mia Maffa Move.
That's amazing.
And then there's there's another person on the podcast called Digine. And Digine releases a lot of content. Digine has been coined as the human content machine. And Digine kind of goes back and forth between being perfectly prolific and maybe not prolific, or maybe a little too productive in the sense of like just releasing like random drunk rants. And you can look at all of these. Digine After Dark is the channel with all of the drunk late night rants that some people call low quality, but I think are probably the most entertaining.
Did he start like a whole different channel just for that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Entirely different channel. There's Digine, there's Digine and Digibro as one channel. Because recently, Digine made the transition from male to female, and then I think I haven't looked at the update, but now I believe it would be called the thing where you go between both genders.
Gender. Oh fuck.
I don't want to be disrespectful and miss.
Gender fluid.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I believe that's the thing. So it went from Digibro to Digine, and now it's Digibro and Digine. So I believe it's a fluidity sort of thing.
That's very neat.
But yeah, so that's the main channel, Digibro and Digine, and then there's Digine After Dark, and then there's I Am Games, which is the gaming channel.
Oh, cool.
So we're talking about somebody that pumps out a lot of content, right? So like I was saying, that's why the prolific discussion is so interesting, is because there's people on a lot of sides of that debate that were in the podcast.
Well, interestingly enough, too, my brother is a professional Twitch streamer. He games. He's got a setup. He's really good at what he does, but he either does one or the other, and it's never consistent. I keep trying to talk to him about it because people are losing interest or people are feeling oversaturated with the situation. He's on a 3-month stint of not releasing a single video right now.
Yeah, that consistency is important. Right, the consistency is important, and even more important is making a connection with people.
Yeah, and I think it's okay to take breaks though.
Yeah, breaks, but he's literally like right now he's like, I'm just not interested in it. But
that's okay.
That's fair.
You know,
I respect that. Depends on what he's trying to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
I think what really matters is if you want to do it and you like doing it, then do it.
Yeah, if you're like, oh, I want to have a career as a Twitch streamer, there is a certain extent of self-sacrifice that you need to be okay with to get where you want to go. But if you're just doing that for fun, it's like,
well, he does want to make a career out of it. He's got a side job just to keep him up, but he's been making money. He started making money off of Twitch, and then once that started happening, he just sort of he's up and down with it, and I think that's a bummer.
It's funny how that is.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I noticed a particular. I mean, I want to let you finish, but I just as a side thought, I noticed a particular when I moved to music full time. I noticed a particular struggle to once everything I was doing was music related. I realized that that's not really what I wanted. Like that was my goal initially. Is when I quit Dutch Bros. I was like, I want to make everything I do at least music related, and then I'll be okay with that. And I realized that that wasn't really true. That was just the next step in the staircase.
Right.
So now within that realm, I want to make everything I do certain aspects of the music industry, particularly the ones that I enjoy, which unfortunately are the hardest to monetize, which are the creative aspects of it are a little more difficult to monetize.
So that actually makes sense because what he liked about doing the Twitch streaming was not necessarily the playing of the video games or the doing the video. It was actually the editing part. And
he edits them?
Yeah, so he does the filming and the editing.
I thought it was. Oh, does he do it live?
So he does a live stream and then he edits and posts to YouTube after that. So that's his deal. But he's always been interested
a really good idea.
into the marketing side and then the editing side. So I think just like you, I think he just thought the video gaming. If he just focused on that, that would be the thing. And then it's now turned into, well, maybe the other aspects of it are the things. So
doing that will expose you to
it's been really interesting, man. Yeah, exactly. Especially for him, you know. Definitely. Yeah, I in particular I find that discussion really interesting. I've been considering maybe putting a video together about it after this one that I have coming out about my sleeping situation for the last year and
I
moving
can't wait
into the
to
studio.
see that. I mean, I'm intrigued by that actually.
It's I'm gonna put up a little teaser tomorrow, but I was thinking about maybe doing a video on.
So tomorrow, this is September 5th, so you're going to release it September 6th?
Yes, Sunday.
The trailer for it?
Yeah, a little preview. It's not done yet, but it's.
Why do I feel like there's going to be a beach involved?
You won't see this for 2 years, so it'll be.
There will not be a beach involved. It's like a little 11-second video where I say something really like, probably irritating to some people, which is what I want.
Yeah. I'm irritated right now even. Wow.
Stir the pot a little bit. Yeah, I want to get you angry, baby.
Oh, I'm pissed.
Yeah, so I had another idea for a video to talk about, once I made it to doing music-related things full-time, I was working for a booking agency, booking bands on tours, and doing, like, session work and teaching at School of Rock, and I still hated my life. And I want to be really honest about that because I want people to realize, at least what I've realized, which is that your dreams may not be what you think, and you should always be questioning, you've got point A, which is where you are, and you've got point B at the top of the staircase, right? And you've got to take each day as a step to get where you want to go. And maybe you chose the wrong staircase, or maybe point B isn't exactly what you think it is. It's kind of like when you go to see a movie, right? And the preview lied to you. It's kind of how I felt about doing music-related things full-time. I was like, wow, this sucks ass.
I think you can expand that into having any expectations at all for anything. Like, expectations are never the reality.
Well, yeah, because, oh my God, I wanted to be a chef. I wanted to own a restaurant.
I remember that.
Entire life. I run a restaurant now. I'm a kitchen manager for a restaurant, and I hate it. I hate every second of it, and every time I go there, it makes me realize, oh my God, this is awful. I like the idea of it, I like the outcome of it, but the work involved with doing something like that, you don't realize it's so much, and it's draining, and it I don't want to do it.
But you've probably realized the good thing about that, and this happened to me too, so you might be able to relate to this, is that, but even though you've gotten to somewhere and you're like, wow, this is not what you fucking promised me, life, what the fuck? You go, oh, well, I mean, at least I did it. Yeah, I'm capable.
Oh yeah, no, definitely. You still climbed
the mountain.
You still climbed
the mountain even though it was the wrong mountain.
And what I can take out of it is that I still like cooking. I just don't like the idea of running the business aspect of the culinary side of all of it.
That is exactly how I feel about music. Yeah. I exactly relate to you on that. Like, it's exactly the same. The creative process of music. I hate the business side of it. Awful. Get me the fuck away from it. Hire a manager, hire a booking agent, anything, so I don't have to deal with that.
I think me and Kash just fell in love, so I think that's a good...
No, I definitely relate. That's why I'm hiring an editor, because the editing, like, I loved it at first, but doing it all the time for every episode, it became a job, and I didn't want to do that job. Yeah.
You maybe felt like you were doing it more than the thing you enjoyed doing.
Yeah, exactly. I just want to talk to people. I don't want to edit it for hours and days and months.
Macro managing, that's the way to go.
Managing.
Every Joe Rogan needs their Jamie.
Yeah, definitely.
I will say. Yeah. Damn,
so we're coming into the last 5-minute stretch here. You have to go, right?
I can stay a little bit longer.
Okay.
That's cool.
All right.
Just feel it out.
Feel it out.
I have a drum lesson to teach. At 5. So.
How long have you been teaching lessons?
Oh man, goddamn! How long's it been now?
And then also on top of that, how did you get into that?
Oh, okay, good question. This is good for any aspiring musicians. Well, first my personal story. So I've been teaching for I think about 1.5 years now, almost coming on 2 years, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. Coming up on 2 years. I started at School of Rock. So I started working a few hours a week at School of Rock while I was working at Dutch Bros. And
which School of Rock? There's one I think there's one in Scottsdale, right?
There's 3 locations. There's one in Scottsdale, one in Gilbert, one in Ahwatukee. I started at Gilbert, and then I was eventually working at Gilbert and Ahwatukee.
Nice.
5 days a week. And so, I started there, and that was nice because they didn't require you. They just required for you to be a good musician and good with kids. You didn't have to have a degree or have any prior teaching experience, which was, probably not the best business model for hiring people. If I'm going to be honestly critical about School of Rock because I don't work there anymore. But it was nice because I had an opportunity. So thank you to Shane and Megan for
Thanks, Shane and Megan.
You
guys are dope.
Yeah, I agree. So I was teaching there for a little bit, and then I quit Dutch Bros, and I was just at School of Rock 5 days a week doing the booking agent stuff on the side. And then I got probably the most life-changing opportunity I've ever gotten in my life. And I have Corey Spots to thank for this, honestly.
Thank you, Corey Spots.
So my current boss at Strum University, Strum University is where I teach at now in North Phoenix. Nick Jensen, the guy who owns that place, he made a post in, I think, a drum forum on Facebook. He's like, oh, looking for a full-time drum instructor 1 day a week. And a bunch of people tagged me in the comments, and obviously that looks really good for me. And so I reach out and set up an interview, and I get the job. And I actually find out later that I beat out one of my coworkers at School of Rock, a Berkeley graduate, for the job. He's a much better musician and drummer than I am, but at the end of the day, they care about who's good with kids, right? So that's advice for anyone who's trying to get into teaching. You have to be good with kids if you want to get started in it. So that was kind of the trajectory, and where I'm at now is I teach at Strum, and then I do like session work and private teaching on the side. So that's the next thing is recently I've been really trying to build up my private schedule of students. So students I just teach on my own. And particularly the thing that I like about that is I get to pick my clientele in a way.
Yep.
So I actually scout drummers at certain levels, and I reach out to them.
That's amazing.
Showing them what I can offer them. So I prefer to teach adults personally because they're using their money. It's not their parents paying for it, so I'm not babysitting if the kid doesn't want to. Yeah, so they take it seriously, and I can push them like a drill sergeant. And so I personally enjoy the private teaching the most. I have really close relationships with all of my private students. It's funny, I actually I taught this. This is an amazing story. I actually recently started dating one of my students. She's 19. People are like, "Whoa, dude! Like, what the hell?" I'm like, "Well, she's of age, bro. Calm down, Jesus. What do you think of me?" But yeah, so I actually met my current girlfriend. I met my current girlfriend through teaching privately, and she still takes drum lessons to this day.
Very cool.
Nice. But yeah, so now I'm getting into the private teaching. So that's my personal story. I guess my advice to any musician really is, like, if you want to get into doing more music related things, places like School of Rock will hire you without a degree and without any prior teaching experience, and you get to teach. They pay decently well starting out. You get to teach music for sort of a job.
So do they design a curriculum for you, or do you design the curriculum? Or
they have one now, and that was one of the big reasons why I left, is because they tried to implement a curriculum, and I think the best way to run a business is to let your employees do what they do best, which is, I know more about drums than School of Rock does, in my opinion. I know about how I teach, and I know about how to find what a student needs and how they learn. And the problem with standardized curriculum is that every student learns differently, and it wasn't working. And so at Strum, I get to teach however I want. So Strum does not have a designated curriculum, which allows me to do my job properly.
Right on.
Yeah. That's a good way to get into doing music stuff if you want to. Yeah, teaching is an interesting thing, man. I've grown so much by being a teacher. I think teaching is maybe the thing that saved me as a musician, is because
Did you think about quitting?
Oh, yeah, we can talk about that. But I, all the time, every day, just kidding, no. So when you see someone, every first drum lesson, I do these three things. I teach a student how to hold the sticks, and I teach them how to play two beats. I teach them how to play boom, ka, and I teach them how to play boom, scots.
The money beat. They call it the money beat.
Quarter note and eighth note beat. The money beats, right? And just to get them interested, and maybe a fill if they get those down quickly enough. And the thing is I see them do that, and I see them struggle, and I look at where I am now, and I remember, every hot-ass, sweaty, anger-filled practice session that I had, where I threw a drumstick and tomahawked it into the wall, and my dad got mad at me for fucking up the drywall, or I grabbed my cymbal stand and fucking threw it across the room because I was really angry, or I stabbed a hole in my snare drum with my stick.
That's aggressive.
Or just never been that angry. I just screamed at my drum like Will Ferrell screams at the drum set.
Can you do a video on how
angry
properly
at the other members, but not my stuff?
Put a stick through the snare drum. I really like to know.
How to properly do it. Like a 5-second video. Like playing, messes
and then how
up,
to repair
yells fuck, stabs the snare
yells
drum.
Fuck.
Snare it, and then repair it.
Snare repair, that's right.
Snare and repair it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I look at that and I realized how far I've come. And there's always, I could be pushing myself harder, and that's something that every musician needs to be honest with themselves about, and seriously honest about it, or else you're going to get to your deathbed and regret not pushing yourself hard enough. And I fear that more than anything. But also, realizing how far you've come and being like, wow, like this kid doesn't even know how to fucking hold a drumstick. Look at what I know how to do. And it kind of helps boost my self-esteem a whole lot.
You definitely get that teaching.
Showing a kid this cool creative concept, or maybe it's this is a good example. So I have a student at Strum named Sebastian who is almost as good as I am. His hand technique is actually better than mine, so he does like drumline stuff. So it's been interesting because he's better than me in some ways, and one of the most important things when you're teaching is learning how to be honest about your weaknesses as a teacher, making the student realize, I am not perfect. I am still learning. I tell all of my students that I take drum lessons, so that they realize that I'm like them in a lot
Yeah.
Helps them feel grounded.
On another level, but still progressing forward.
That's how I teach my son.
I'm just 10 years ahead of you. I'm just 10 years ahead of you, and if you work twice as hard, you could be where I'm at in 5 years. You could be way better than me. You'll be teaching me someday.
So that's how I teach my son, actually. I look at him and I say, I'm also still a child, in my head. Cause
Freudian psychology,
okay,
bro.
Man.
We're all just grown-up children. Have you seen the anime Neon Genesis Evangelion?
I hate Evangelion. I don't hate it. I can't.
Oh man, yeah. All I can do is put myself into the shoes of everybody there, but
that makes sense,
but yeah, so it's more than any monetary benefit. It's been a huge self-esteem booster, the whole teaching thing. But yeah, fucking, what did you brought up something, Tyler? Oh yeah, me almost quitting. So that's another thing. So I tell my students this story when the time is right, if they're old enough to understand. I tell them about when I almost quit playing music. And that's kind of why the Hakol Havel project is so important to me, is because the first song on the record is the song I wrote that made me decide I didn't want to quit. So me and my I had wanted to quit.
And you said you've been working on this project for the past 3 years?
It'll be 3. Yeah, it'll be 3 years in October.
Have you released anything on it?
No, to my dismay, we've been taking our sweet ass time, but it's gonna be fucking worth it.
That must be tough.
It's hard music, and the songs are really like 8 minutes long.
I mean, just like holding on to it for that long and not sharing it to anybody or anything.
We're not gonna take 3 years to release the next one, I can tell you that. But yeah, I almost quit. Basically, I overworked myself and had a very negative self-perception, and so I almost quit. And I spent 2 weeks, just didn't touch my drums, and then my best friend Justin came to me, and we were both like, and I was like, hey, let's try writing something. I'm about to fucking quit this shit and sell everything I own. Let's try writing something just to see what happens. And we did, and it re-inspired me, and now I'm here today. So
that's amazing. Yeah, just that one.
That's the short version.
Yeah, that's good. And it would suck too. We haven't known each other for a very long time, Kash, and I think this is probably my 4th time actually talking to you ever in like. But there
recording Mellow Mushroom, and now
there was a
time, Chiba Hut when we were talking about potentially recording our next album. I think
that was a long time ago.
Yeah.
You recently had, or not recently, a few years ago, had all of your drum stuff stolen. You remember that?
Did I?
You did.
Oh yeah, I had all my cymbals stolen, and then we found them at Zia Records for sale.
Are you serious? I did not know that. But
yeah, well, if you want the truth, I left my cymbal bag outside the practice space, and when I went back to grab it, it was gone. So I kind of left it outside and was kind of asking for it, but it did get stolen.
So Nick, you put something online saying you were selling all your bass equipment.
Yeah. And he bought it.
And Nick bought it. And we still use that bass.
I use that
to
setup.
this day. We added stuff to it.
Sounds amazing.
Really good.
But
the Sans amp, right?
Yeah, and you wanted more equipment so
amazing.
badly. You were selling stuff. You're trying to put stuff out there. Like you were dedicated back then too. You really wanted to keep doing what you were doing. You could have easily just said,
that was
hey,
before what I call my infamous depression. Yeah. So
is it never not infamous, you know?
Yeah, we started talking about Evangelion a little bit, and Evangelion is my favorite anime of all time. I think it's truly one of the most, I think To Pimp a Butterfly as an album, I think Evangelion is one of the most important animes ever created because it speaks to me on such a level, and it influenced everything after it has been influenced by Evangelion in some type of way.
What
the
is
way
that
it was
anime
made.
About?
Evangelion it's like a giant robot show, but it's I always tell people it's like Gundam, but it's so much better. And I tell people that it's anything but a giant robot show. It's about
our camera op would not be happy about you saying that.
He's so mad at it.
Why? Did I say something provocative? Oh, I mean, Gundam's good, and Gundam is important, and I think there's a lot of good Gundam and a lot of bad Gundam. And any true Gundam fan would, they can sort through the good and the bad. But Evangelion is just on a whole nother level in the sense that it humanized the characters in a way that I've never seen, quote unquote, cartoon do before. And it's one of those things that I've seen 10 times, and I can't cry. I can't watch it without crying.
And you said you've seen it?
I couldn't get into it.
Yeah, it's not for everyone, man. It's incredibly dark, and it's not about the action. It's about people being really fucking depressed.
Yeah, you might be really
Yep. And the thing that's so impressive about it to me, we talked about infamous depression, and that's kind of a term I coined from Digine. Actually, Digine did a video called "Who is Hideaki Anno?" and that's the guy who created Eva. Eva is short for Evangelion, and he Digi coined it Hideaki Anno's infamous 4-year depression, which took place before, during, and after the creating of the show. And the thing that's so fascinating about it to me is that the show in and of itself is, to my theory, autobiographical. So I believe that all of the characters in the show represent a different subset of Hideaki Anno's personality. I believe that the whole show takes place in his head. I believe that it's all of the things that the characters in the show deal with are things that he's dealt with personally. And I relate to a lot of them, except for the daddy issue stuff. I don't have daddy issues.
I could relate a lot less to that. That's
yeah, the main character's dad hates him and all that shit.
Wow, that's crazy.
Sad.
Yeah, you've got a lot of daddy issues.
I call the weband that I sleep with daddy.
Amazing. It fucking it talks about how difficult the human experience really is, and those sci-fi shows usually kind of they don't really realistically depict a lot of things because they're like science fiction. At least as far as human interaction, I feel like they don't get it right a lot of the time, and this show just takes it to a whole new level. But yeah, the infamous depression I was mentioning. Hideaki Anno also was notorious for sleeping in the studio because he was homeless. I don't know if it was particularly during the production of Eva, but it was at some point in his life he was sleeping in the place that he was creating, and that's kind of what the video I'm about to put out is about, and so I relate to that as well.
Yeah.
But the craziest thing is that
I feel like there's like as an artist, I think all of us, everybody in this room can probably relate to that, like sleeping in the same place where you create.
Yeah, and just how beneficial and also how damning that can be.
Yeah,
it's got a lot of pros and cons.
The best of both worlds, no doubt.
Yeah,
the best,
definitely. But he was depressed as fuck. He got really lucky. Somebody funded him for Evangelion. Evangelion is known as his magnum opus, but he made it and he finished it, and you know what he said? He said, "This is shit," and he became even more depressed after he finished it.
This depressing garbage.
I think it's a testament to my life. My magnum opus has yet to be created, in my opinion. But at the end of the day, you can never know. So you must create. You have to create no matter what.
You have to keep
no
going.
matter what. Yeah.
I'm gonna write music on my deathbed. I think the last thing I do on this planet is write a song.
Write a farewell song.
Farewell song, and then die.
Goodbye, cruel world.
Oh, amazing. Well, that's all I've got. You guys got anything you want to talk about?
I think that's a good place to end it.
I want to talk about the fucking AC in my studio being out.
Fucking turn that fan on right now, dude. Figured it out.
I will.
This is why he was so hot. Are you ready for it? All right. This was Your Thoughts Podcast. Thank you for joining us. This is Kash Filburn. He's a cool guy. He plays drums. Go check him out on all of his social media aspects.
Plug his...
At Kash Plays Drums.
He does. It's true. With the K, though. Don't spell Cash. He's whatever. He's got a great mustache. He's got cool glasses. And
thank you.
I'm sure his hog is what's good. So
it's amazing.
It's all at Kash.drums. Is that what you said?
At Kash Plays Drums.
At
all
Kash
one word.
Plays Drums.
All
is that a
word.
website or is that Instagram or?
That's just like my Instagram tag. Yeah, I don't have a website.
Okay.
Get a website, dude.
I thought about it last night, actually. That's crazy
cool.
You said that.
Right on.
All right. Well, thank you for being on.
Yeah, thank you guys for having me.
Cool. Yeah, of course.
All right, we'll see you guys later. Join us next time for the episode 21 of whoever the fuck wants to be on this.
I think it's 20. Anyway, you can find more episodes of Your Thoughts Podcast at yourthoughtspodcast.com. Check us out on Apple, Google Play, Stitcher, Spotify. Check out our Patreon. Yeah. We're all over the place.
Or if you just want to give us cash in like an envelope.
Yeah, we'll take check.
Give us money.
Yeah, give us
Bye, guys. Have a good one.